The chapter begins about a week since the events of the last chapter. Karo isn't happy because she hasn't gotten new students. Kenshin states that since this is a time of change, it's hard for people to come back once they moved on. And here's where we discover that Kenshin is 28 years old. I would agree with Karo about Kenshin's age, but there are some people who do look younger or older than their actual age. As they go shopping, Karo questions to herself on why Kenshin became a wanderer, while the other revolutionaries gave up their swords and had taken up positions in the government. Kenshin states that he can sense that she has a question, however she replies that it's nothing and tells him to get some items that they need. After Kenshin enters the store, a carriage pulls up behind Karo. The man riding in the carriage asks her for directions to the police station. She gives him the directions and then continues shopping. At a stand, she notices a commotion and asks what's going on. Some guy tells her that someone was caught breaking the sword banning law. We see Kenshin surrounded by the police when a group from the Sword Corps makes their way through the crowd. The leader of this group, Lieutenant Yukichi, draws his sword at Kenshin and tells him to draw his since he must be confident to carry it in public. Kenshin corrects him by stating that he doesn't carry the sword as a visual symbol of undeserved power. Karo then arrives at the scene. Two of the officers from the sword force draw their swords and cut her hair ribbon. Kenshin is told again to draw his sword. The crowd gets upset at the officers' actions, which causes the lieutenant to order the other officers to attack the crowd. This action causes Kenshin to draw his sword. He tells the officers not to attack the citizens, but instead they should attack him. We jump to the man from the carriage talking to one of the officers, who I have to assume is the chief officer of this town. The officer states that the murderer from the last chapter wasn't the real Batusai, and the real culprits were found tied up in front of the police headquarters. However, the police don't know who brought them in, and when the culprits were questioned, they said it was the real one who got them. Another officer enters the room to inform that there's an incident with the Sword Corps. When he is asked if Yukichi is causing trouble again, if the officer with the glasses knows that another officer is causing trouble multiple times while on duty, then why doesn't he fire him? Then again, at this point, it's not really clear if the officer with the glasses is Yukichi's boss. Anyway, the young officer tells him that the Sword Corps was beaten by one swordsman. After hearing the description of the swordsman, they rush to where the Sword Corps is. When they arrive, the lieutenant is the only Sword Corps member still standing. He attacks Kenshin, but is easily defeated. The crowd cheers, and the man from the carriage calls out to Kenshin. Here is where we finally get his name, Yamagata. He tells Kenshin that he has a carriage waiting, and many of Kenshin's comrades are waiting for his return. Kenshin apologizes and tells him that he doesn't want to spend the rest of his life as an assassin. As Kenshin starts to leave with Karu, Yamagata tells him that this is the age of law, where swords are banned and the samurai have fallen. He also states that there isn't anything Kenshin can accomplish with a sword. Kenshin smiles and replies that with a sword he can protect people as a wanderer instead of an assassin. Once Kenshin and Karo are gone, the officer with the glasses states that he thought the Batusai was a dangerous figure, but he knows the truth is different. The chapter ends with Kenshin apologizing to Karo for getting her hair ribbon ruined. I have to say that this chapter feels like some of the characters are taking a step back and questioning on what happened in the first chapter a bit. At the beginning, we see Karo wondering if Kenshin is really the Batusai or not. By the end of the chapter, we do find out that he is really the Batusai when an acquaintance of his shows up. I have to say that I enjoyed the moment between Kenshin and Yamagata. I can tell that Yamagata cares for Kenshin when he tells him not to feel bad for killing people during the war, and it wasn't his fault. Also, it was slightly hinted that Yamagata would silence anyone who spoke ill of Kenshin for being an assassin, which Kenshin quickly picked up and reminded Yamagata that they raised their swords and killed people for a world of peace instead of power. In the end, Yamagata knows that Kenshin is right. That's all I have to say about this chapter. I'll see you on the next Read Little by Little.